Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this stream I'm going to share with you how to navigate my zero-based budgeting template. This tab is the transaction tab, where you would enter all your daily transactions, and we have our second tab. The second tab is review tab. This tab contains summary of all your monthly transactions, your budgets, and we have at this end we have annual report summary. Let's move to the next tab. We have budget tab. In the budget tab we have two tables. The first one is a summary of all budget amount for all categories, and now we have another one. We have another table down here. Here you are supposed to record your budget, or what you are planning to spend on all your categories. Our last tab is list tab. This is where you record all your categories. And now I'm going to show you how to use it when you have an empty copy or empty template. This is the first tab you will see once you open this template. Here you are supposed to enter all your categories. The categories have been divided into 4 sections. We have income section, fixed expenses, variable expenses, and savings and debt section. Income, this is what you want or what you get, and some sources of income which you are supposed to record here are salaries, side hustles, gigs, bonuses, tips, investment income. We have our next section is fixed expenses. Here you list all your expenses which don't change each month. Like we have housing, or you can name it as rent, car payment, internet bills, phone bills, subscription, and insurances. And now we have variable expenses. These expenses, they change every month, like groceries, dining out, gas, fuel, car maintenance, clothing, everything. Expenses which change every month, you list them under variable expenses. That is the difference between fixed and variable expenses. And now to our last section, we have saving and debts. Here you list all your savings. We have emergency funds, retirement savings, or any other saving goal you have. And we under this section you will list all the debts. Like we have debt payments, credit card payments. You list them under savings and debts. Now let's move to our next part. And before we continue, zero-based budgeting method, this is it's a method of budgeting which entails allocating every dollar you have a job, and it is supposed to be income minus all expenses, including savings and debts. So in zero-based budgeting method, savings and debts are expenses. And now let's go on. I'm going to show you how to do it, how to record, or how to record your transactions, and how to budget using zero-based budgeting method. Now to our first before the month starts, you are supposed to open the budget tab. In budget tab, this is where you are supposed to record what you are planning to spend in the maybe in the next month, or if you have already started the month. Here you record what you want to spend and how much you are willing to spend, and you should allocate every dollar, every penny until you have zero. So let's budget our first. We are going to budget for October 2025. We will double click here. We are going to select today date, and our first category is groceries. What are we planning to? And before you continue, you are supposed to know how much you earn in a month, so that you can budget for that money. Every dollar you earn, you are supposed to allocate it a job. We are supposed to give it a job. So let's say you make around 50,000. We are going to budget our 50,000, and we are going to start with groceries. We are going to allocate 5k. Let's move on to our next item is housing. Housing is 10k. Our next item is let's see, dining out. We are planning to spend 5,000. I'm going to move to our next item, which is, let's budget for our personal care. We are going to allocate 10,000. Let's move to the our next category. I'm going to allocate for public transit. Let's say we are planning to spend 4,000. No, not 40. 4,000. As you can see on top here, total expenses. As you can see, our budget in the amount is accumulating. Now we have planned for 34,000, and we are supposed to budget for every dollar we earn. Let's move to our next one. Our next item is emergency fund. Let's give it a 5,000. We still have some money left. Now our next one, we are planning to pay for our credit card loan. And how much are we going to pay? Let's say 3k. Let's move to our next item. We have not allocated money for internet. Let's allocate money for internet. $2k. Our next item will be subscription. We have to plan for our subscription. and the subscription. Our subscription, let's say, is 2500. As you can see, the budgeted amount here is automatically calculated. You don't have to add or maybe or copy paste from this table to this table. No, everything is auto calculated. And what have we not planned for? What have we not planned for? We have not planned for electricity. How are we going to survive for the rest of the month without electricity? And the other thing was electricity. And there's shortcut. Instead of searching or maybe moving cursor up and down, you can just type the category name and it will pop up. Let's say we are planning for 1500. We are planning to spend 1500. And what is the other thing we have not planned for? We have not planned for retirement. Okay. And we still have 2000 more. And now here, how much are we paying? And the other thing, you should not tighten your budget. You should allocate some money for entertainment. Our last category will be entertainment. And I'm going to allocate 1000 for entertainment. This is what we have budgeted. We have already budgeted for our 50k. Let's go to our transaction tab. In this tab, we are supposed to record on daily basis. Once transaction has taken place, or once you have bought anything or received money. So we are going to double click. I'm going to use today's date. Select income. We have received our salary. Let's see. And you can add a small description to describe your transaction. Let's say we earn 40,000 from our salary. Let's record our next item. I'm going to use today's date. And in this column, you are supposed to select either if your transaction is income. You are supposed to select either income, fixed expense, variable expense, or savings according to the transaction you want to record. And now on our second item, we have received some money from our side hustle, 10k. Let's move on to recording our first expense, and our first expense is fixed expense. First, we are going to record our housing or rent money. And it is not a must you record all transaction on one day. Once a transaction has taken place, or once you have spent some money, you are supposed to record. Our second item, what do we are going to record groceries. Under this column, it is optional, but you can write a small note to describe your expense. And under groceries, let's say we have spent 3,000. Let's move to our second one. And we have saved some amount, and that money we want to record it under emergency fund, 2,000. Now let's move on to our next item. Our next item will be let's go with dining out. You have spent 500 for dining out. Let's move to our next part. Our next item will be, we have not paid for our subscription. Subscription, it's okay. Now let's see summary for the month. Under review tab, we have our first row. Here you double click, then you select the month you want to review, and you are supposed to select the first day of the month. That is the date first, the first day of the month. Don't select a day, maybe the second date, or maybe in the middle. No, you should select first day of the month, so that it can calculate every transaction from first day. And now we have our budget summary. 50,000. The total expenses, the amount we have budgeted is 50,000. Our total income is 50,000. And now under this total expenses, this is the actual amount that we have spent. We have up to now we have spent 17,500, and remaining we still have balance of that 2,500. As you can see, under remaining balance, it has been highlighted in green, meaning it's positive, meaning we have not gone over our budget. Now let's move to this part, to this table. Now this table, it has summary for all the transaction, and our first table is showing income sources. This is the transaction we have recorded so far: salary and side hustle. Our next one is fixed expenses, and in this table you are not supposed to enter any transaction. Everything here is auto calculated. Under budget amount, it has been auto populated from budget template, so you are not supposed to repeat yourself again. And still for the actual amount column, it has been auto populated from transaction tab. Now under difference, now this is where you are supposed to look to check if you have spent more or if you have spent less. And our first item is housing. The difference is 0, so we have already exhausted the money we budgeted for housing. Our next item is internet. We have not yet spent any money. Our next item when budgeted is subscription. We budgeted for 5,000 or 2,500, but we have actually spent 2,000, so we have balance of 5,000. Let's move to our next one, to our next item, our next section, variable expenses. Under this, for groceries, we budgeted 5,000, but as for now we have spent 3,000. We have balance of 2,000. Same to dining out, we have balance of 4,500. Personal care, we budgeted 10,000, but we have spent none, so we have a positive balance of 10,000. So we still have money. We are on budget. We have not over budgeted. Our next item is entertainment. We have not yet spent anything on entertainment. Still same to electricity and public transit. Let's go on to our next section, savings and debt. Under this section, and we had budgeted 5,000 for emergency fund, but we have spent 2K, so we still have some money left. Same to retirement and credit. Under credit card loan, we have not yet spent on anything. Now let's continue recording our transaction. And our next item in our list, we are going to record electricity. And under electricity, let's say we have so far we have spent 1,500. Our next item, let's add more groceries or grocery shopping expense. Is it? No, it is not fixed. Groceries are under variable expenses. They are not under fixed expenses. And now let's see this time around how much have we spent. Okay, how much have we spent for the new groceries? Let's say 4,000. Now let's move on to paying loans or debts. And our next item will be credit card paying for credit card. Let's say this time around we have actually paid what? How much have we paid for our credit? Let's give it a number. 6,000. Now let's go back to review tab to check if we are still on our budget or we have underspent. Remaining balance is 21,000, and now under fixed expenses section we still have the difference is highlighted in green, meaning we are on our budget. We have not exhausted what we had planned for. But now in variable expense section we have spent more for groceries by 2,000, of which it's a bad thing. We had allocated 5,000 but we have spent 7,000 so far. And now we have one under savings and debts we have overspent when paying for credit card payment, and of which that's a bad sign. So what we are supposed to do, reallocation. For groceries you can't, for groceries, since it is not a must to be in for over budgeted category to be groceries, can be any category. So what we are supposed to do, we are going to steal money from our budgeted amount, and so far we have not yet spent any penny we had allocated for personal care. So we are going to reallocate again. We are going to reduce personal care amount and increase groceries. Let's move here. We are going to do reallocation, and under groceries I am going to reallocate to 2K, and under personal care we are going to reduce this amount to we are reducing it by 2,000, so it will be 8,000. Let's review it. We had another one for credit. Now where are we going to get money from? We can reduce money we had allocated from, let's say, public transit, or maybe personal care, or dining out. Whatever category you want to reduce money. In our case, we are going to reallocate again. And here, let's say, under public transit, we are going to reduce it by what? By how much? 3,000. Our balance will be 1K. Yeah. we are still on our budget, 50,000. Oh, okay, we have not allocated more. Now let's see how everything is highlighted in green, meaning we are still on our budget. We have not exceeded our budget. And now let's move to charts. Under charts, this pie chart is comparing income versus expenses. Income is in blue color and expenses are in red color. So this means we still have some money to spend. Now let's move to our second pie chart, comparing fixed expenses. And under this, we have spent much. Housing has the highest percentage, while subscription has the lowest. Our next chart is for variable expenses, and we have spent groceries as the highest percentage, while dining out as the lowest percentage. Now let's move on to financial goals. And this is how much emergency, no, it's not an emergency. Credit card payment as the highest percentage of 50,000. Emergency fund as the middle, or maybe the second one, and retirement as the lowest percentage, meaning we have spent the lowest under retirement savings compared to other categories under savings and debts. Now let's move on to our next item, our next part, which is annual report. Under this table, we have a small table here, which is summarizing all transaction or actual amount spent during the year. Since we don't have recording transaction for January up to August, that's why it is 0. But if we had recorded transaction for all these months, it is supposed to be showing. And as you can see, our first row is income, next one is fixed expenses for the rest of the month. We have variable expense, actual amount spent for the rest of for a whole month. Our next row, a summary of all the savings and debts paid in October. And in our last row, we have remaining balance, what we have left or what was left in that month. And in October we have 21,000 remaining. Now we have another column showing total for the rest of total for our first row is income, total fixed expenses, total variable expenses, total savings and debts for the whole year. Now there's another thing. Let's say you have recorded. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you have recorded. We are not yet in 2026, but I'm going to record a transaction for 2026 January. Let's say we are in January. We are going to assume we have already reached 2026, so we are going to record income of the same thing, or maybe let's $55,000. Let's record. I'm going to record one category for each month, for each section, and let's move on to our third item. Variable expenses, and let's say so now to be able to view summary for January 2026, we are supposed to select month, year. We're supposed to select date. We are going to select 1st of January 2026, and this is the total. This is the summary. This is a summary for January 2026, and for the total expenses, the total amount budgeted is showing 50,000. Of that is not we have not yet planned for our. We have not yet planned for January 2026. If we select January 2026, on this side it's going to show 0. Now let me show you what I wanted to show you is, as you can see, under annual report, this table is showing summary for January 2025 to December 2026. So for if we want to view summary for January 2026, we are going to double click and to use a calendar, and I'm going to move to January 2026. That is January 2026. So what you are supposed to do here, to be able to view for all months in that year. Let's see, if you want to view to view summary from January to December 2026, use calendar, double click, and a calendar will appear. Then you search for our second month is Feb. As you can see, Feb has changed, and that is what you are supposed to do, to change month, date, year, and for the table to give you the accurate number or the accurate summary for that specific month. This is how you are supposed to change dates in annual report table. Yeah, in April I'm going to change for all months. And the best part of using this template, it's a lifetime. It gives you lifetime access. You don't have to buy another template after an year. Once you buy it, you will use it for the rest of your life. Our next month is July. Let's move on to July. August 2026. And that is how you are supposed to change date. So once you record once you record any transaction or data, you will have all data for the rest of your life as long as you are using this template. September. Our next month is October. As you can see, all these rows are empty because we have not recorded anything from February to August to September. Let's go on. We want October 2026. Am I moving fast to 2027? Yeah, our last month, December 2026. When we move to our chart here, it's a line chart. It's only showing transaction total amount. For the green line represent income, and we have red line representing fixed expenses, and our that is not that much visible. Orange representing variable expenses, and the other months they are blank because we have not yet recorded any transaction for that month. Now let's move back to October 2025. There's something I want to share. Now let's say October has ended and you still have some money, you still have balance remaining, and according to the principle of zero-based budgeting method, income minus all expenses should total to zero. So at the end of the month, remaining balance should be zero. But if you have not yet spent every dollar, this is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to allocate the remaining balance to savings, or maybe allocate it to paying more debts, which you have. And don't spend the excess money, or don't spend the money which you have not spent on expenses. Spend it on either savings goals, or debts, or paying debts. Now we are going to allocate our 21,000 to savings. And what are we saving for? So are we going to save for? We are going to put our money in emergency fund. Yeah, or 21,000. Let's move to our review category, our review tab. As you can see, remaining balance is 0, meaning we have spent the money which we had allocated for. We have spent all of it. Now let's move here. Under savings and debt category, it's showing a negative, because we have already spent 23,000 for emergency fund. Now this is not a bad sign to your finances, it's a good sign, because this money, the 21,000 which we have transferred to emergency fund, that's our money. We have not spent it on anything. And that is how you use this zero-based budgeting method. And for our last part, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you, as you can see under this other template, it has a lot of transactions. And if you don't want to scroll down so that you can record your transaction, you can choose to hide all these rows. Just select. Let me show you how you will do it. I'm going to select. It is it now. We have moved it. Then we want to move it. We are going to hide. Let's hide those. Oh no. I'm supposed to select everything. I don't know what is happening, but I don't want to know anything. Yeah. Wait. You select everything from column A to the last column, and we are going to hide all these transactions, the upper transaction. If you don't want to scroll much down, now let's hide from row 3 to 176. Yeah, as you can see, from row number 3 to 176 we have hide them, and now you can go. We still have more, so if you don't want, you can go ahead and hide others. Now I've told you this template, it's a lifetime, it gives you lifetime access. So let's say you have recorded a total of 1001 transaction. What you do next, don't panic, just click add, and other 1,000 rows will be added. As you can see, if you double click, a calendar will appear. If we select type, they are appearing. Everything is working well. If we use this drop down to select our categories, all categories are here. And we can record amount. Now let's move on to budget, to this budget tab. Here, if you want, okay, here you can, instead of scrolling down, you do the same we have done in transaction tab. You highlight the rows, then you hide them. Once you have reached here, you add more. You add other 1,000 more rows at the bottom, and this template will serve you forever. You are not limited to a certain period. And and the other thing, you can customize. You can add your other expenses, or maybe reduce them. It is not a must to have, for example, category under water and sewer. If you don't actually spend on either water or sewer, same to you can. What you will do, just delete a row, but don't delete the column. Just delete a row. Like for example, if we delete health insurance, it won't appear. It will not appear here under fixed expenses summary, and it will not appear in budget. Yeah, it is not here. So under list tab, this is where you modify your categories names. You can erase them, then write the new one, but make sure all your categories aligns with the transaction. Don't record something like housing under income transaction. It will give you wrong information. So you are supposed to align everything. Every category should match with the section, with the section. If it's a income category, list it under income. If it's a fixed expense, it should match. And now we have another expense, child support or alimony. If it's paid to you, you are supposed to record it under income. And if you have received it, you are supposed to list it under income and but if you are the one who is paying, you are supposed to record it under fixed expenses. We have one more. Now, under annual report, this is how your chart should look in after 1 year. And under remaining balance, we have 0, and that is how it is supposed to be. It should be 0, 0, 0, 0. You are not supposed to have anything in this row. From remaining balance for all months should be 0. That is why that is the core idea for using a zero-based budgeting template. The remaining balance should be 0. Every dollar should be assigned a job. If you have an excess, allocate it to your savings, or you allocate it to pay in debt. And now, this is the total income for whole year. Same to total fixed expenses, total variable expenses, total savings and debts. So by the end of the year, you will know how much I've spent on savings, how much I've spent on fixed expenses. And now, the top here, we have our chart. I've told you the green line is showing income, blue line is representing savings and debts, and now the orange line representing variable expenses, and the red line representing it is representing fixed expenses. Okay. And that is how you are supposed to navigate my zero-based budgeting template. You can get it in my shop. I've listed it. I've already included link to my shop and a description, so you can get it there. You can get it from there. And for today and tomorrow, I'm going to give a discount. I don't think if I've included it, but you can follow me on all my socials. Just search budget with Nia, and you will be notified once I launch a product, or maybe if I've listed some products under sale or on sale. Sorry, not under sale, on sale. And thank you for watching.